Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, and welcome to this lecture of electronics in which we are starting digital electronics today. And today, actually, we are going to continue with semester two, paper two, which is, of course, a digital one. And I guess we have completed these logic gates, and today we are going to say explore it how it works. That is logic families, right? So let me introduce myself again. I guess my screen is visible to you all. Is it visible to you? Yeah. So let me introduce myself. Myself, Dr. Andy Mishram, Head and Associate Professor, Department of Electronics, Sri Mathura Das Mohta College of Science, Nagpur. And today we are going to study the IC logic families, right? So we have studied the logic gates, right? So these logic gates we have studied just the symbol of them. So what is the circuitry inside it? That is what we have to study in this unit, right? So we are going to study this unit of semester two, paper two, semester 2 paper 2 unit 1, which is IC logic families. Okay, so what is it? So IC logic families are nothing but the circuits that we are actually having to use as a gate, right? So we have a circuit of transistors, diodes, and resistances which are connected in all sorts of manner to give the expected output that we have studied in the truth tables, right? So we have applied 1 1 0 0 and all. So we get the expected output according to it. Now, some terminology which are related to digital ICs are voltage parameters. Now, this ICs, so we'll study the fundamentals of first study the fundamentals of the ICs, of digital circuits, right? So we are having voltage parameters like this. So VIH minimum, that is VIH minimum, that is high level input voltage. The minimum voltage level required for a logic 1 at an input. So we say that when we apply one means which is actually equal to plus 5 volt, right? And when we say zero, it means we are applying a ground terminal or a ground potential to that terminal. So one or zero, that is what we know. But in between that, if I say one is say plus 5 volt and zero is say ground, so at up to what level it is going to take it as the minimum voltage, that is the input voltage. So it is the high level input voltage, that is the minimum voltage level required for a logic 1 at an input. So if I say plus 5 volt is the maximum voltage that we are going to apply to an input of a gate, then what would be the minimum? So it might be around 3 volt or 3.5 volt, where the IC is supposed to consider that 3.5 volt as say 1, right? So we are talking in terms of that parameter. So we need to give at least that much of voltage so that the IC should consider it as 1. Okay, so we call it as the V minimum of that. So VIH minimum means high level input voltage, the minimum voltage level required for a logic 1 at an input. So we are going to apply at least 3.4 or 3.5 volts so that the IC or the gate considers it as an the one as one. Okay, so that is over there. And then we have VIL max, that is low level input voltage. That is what is the lowest level that it is going to consider it as zero. So we might have zero is there, right? Zero is okay, but above that, how much voltage it considers as zero? As I said, that 3.5 volt is considered by the IC as an plus 5 volt or a 1 in that case. So digital 1 is considered. So similarly, we can't say that 0 or 0.2 or 1 volt is considered as zero level, right? So we are having these two terms only, high or low. But what is the lowest level of voltage that can be applied, and the IC is going to take it as an zero. Okay, so that is the low level input voltage. Then we are having high level output voltage. Similarly, at the output level, level of output of a gate, what approximately how much of voltage is being coming out of it as a high, right? So that particular voltage is called as VOH minimum. Similarly, we are having VOL max, that is low level output voltage. What is the lowest level of the output voltage that is supposed to come out at the output of the gate? And so these are some of the digital IC terminologies which are related to voltage, right? So the current parameters are similar to that. Similarly, as we have talked about the voltage, there is the parameters which are considered as current parameters. So IH minimum, that is high level input current, the current that flows into an input when a specified high level voltage is applied to that input. So that is called as the minimum current that is required, right? So we are applying voltage as well as we are expecting the current to flow through that. So at that particular high level voltage, we require some high current to flow through that so that the IC will take it as the one, right? So high level input current, the current that flows into an input when a specified high level voltage is applied to that input. And similarly, we are having IL max. So we can define accordingly. Low level input current. So that is the lowest level of the input current so that the IC will consider it as zero. Similarly, we are having IOH minimum, again high level output voltage or output current that is on the output side. So what is the current it comes out of IC at the output side when it is supposed to be high. Okay, that is what this means. So IH minimum and then we have IOL maximum, that is low level output current. So all the four parameters are similar to the voltage as well as current. So names are same, the functions are same, right? So we require some of the potentials or current that might be considered as one or zero accordingly. So that respective voltages in at the input level as well as the output level. So we'll have four parameters at the input two and at the output two. So in all, we'll be having four parameters: current as well as voltages. So these are some definitions which are very essential to understand as far as ICs are concerned. So we are talking in terms of circuit. So now this is how I mean to say what I mean to say that here. So if you see over here, this is a NAND gate. We have studied this NAND gate, and I'm expecting if both the inputs of a NAND gate is low, then what would be the highest current, yeah, high current that is supposed to flow through this output terminal of this gate. Okay, so that current we will call it as IOH. Similarly, what would be the input current that is the high current that is supposed to be flow through the input of a gate, right? So that it considers it as high. Then the voltage level. So we are having the VOH voltage over here. So this voltage is taken across 2 points. So voltage potential is always taken in the difference form. So at 2 points, we are going to take the voltage. So this is the first point that is over there. I guess my screen, my cursor is being viewed by you. So I'm linking that cursor over there. So here we are. Sorry. Here we are talking about the voltage. So voltage will be taken at these 2 points, positive as well as ground. So with respect to this ground, we are expecting the output voltage when it is supposed to be high. Similarly, here we are considering it as the input high voltage. So what would be the input side of voltage? So both the voltages are there, high level as well as low level, when we talk in terms of the input side or the output side. So this is for the high consideration. And when I say that this is a low, so what type of current is supposed to flow through this when the output of a certain gate is supposed to be low, right? So IOL, we are talking here, taking it as the current at low level. Similarly, we are taking voltage at low level. Okay, so this is the VOL, positive and ground. Again, it is taken with respect to ground. Similarly, if I see that and I put it into the input side of it, so low level input current that is required for this gate so that it considers it as low, that is zero. And here also some voltage will be over there. So how much, at least how much of voltage it considers it as low. Beyond that, it might consider a garbage value, or beyond that, it might consider a high value, that is zero or one. So zero and one are not a stable states. These are actually the specified voltages and currents that we are going to apply to the input side, that is the input of a gate, and similarly to we are taking it as the output of a gate. So we require both the current as well as voltage. So minimum and high current, minimum and high voltage, the input side as well as the output side. Those were the definitions of that we have studied in the last slide. Then the next parameter that is concerned with the IC, that is the fan out. Now, what is the fan out? It's very simple. What is output? So if you need to connect some ICs to the output side of of a gate, then how many gates it can drive? That is the fan out. The maximum number of standard logic inputs that an output can drive reliably. So that is called as the fan out, right? So this is the basic definition of the fan out. The maximum number of standard logic inputs. Inputs means how much gates we are supposed to connect to a particular output level. That that is called as the fan out. Okay, we'll see that in that. And this is also known as the loading factor. That is how much load you are supposed to give to a gate, and it is reliably going to drive those loads. Okay, so that is loading factor, and this is related to current parameters both in high and low states, because it is going to drive the current. It drain the current from that particular gate, right? So what I mean to say is, and the drawback of that is the gates which are having larger fan out are very slower. And since we are working in a digital phase, so we expect that the speed of this should be very high, right? So if you have these types of a structure, so we have to connect many ICs in the output side of a gate, then they become slow, right? So yeah, this is what I mean to say when I say that we are having a fan out. Fan out means how many loads you are supposed to connect to a particular output which is given to a gate, right? Over here, if you are able to see that this is a NAND gate and I need to drive these three gates. So by giving a single input, which is coming from this first output of the first gate, I need to drive all the three ICs, or say some more IC gates I need to connect. So how many such gates can be connected so that they can work reliably? Okay, so there must be some limitations to it, right? So that is called as the fan out. Means how many standard loads that we are supposed to connect in the output side of a gate. So that is called as a fan out. I guess you have understood it. Then the next one is fan in. Similarly, fan in. So how much standard inputs, that maximum number of standard inputs that can be connected to a particular gate so that the gate will work reliably. And this is related to again current parameters both in high and low stages. And gates with larger fan in are bigger and slower. The structure of them are bigger, as well as they are again slower. So we need to have this effect on that. So if you are able to see over here, 4 NOT gates are being connected to a single OR gate. Sorry, NOR gate. Okay, so how many gates other than these 4 gates we can connect to a single gate? So that is called as a fan in. So fan in means, again, it is not shown properly because it is having almost 4 inputs over here. So if I connect 4 gates to a single input, then what happens to it? So that is the fan in structure of it. Means how many inputs can be given to a particular gate. That is called as fan. Now some more definitions are there. That is the propagation delay. Now what is propagation delay? Means as soon as you apply the input, or as soon as you give some input to the input side of a gate, then how much time it requires to give you the output. That is called as the delay. So it requires, say, a very slight fraction of a second, but it requires some time. That small time which is required by a gate to give an output as soon as we are applying the input, right? So that particular time lag is called as the propagation delay. That is the time required for a gate to give a output. Okay, so these terms are considered with these some more issues. We call it as TTLH. So remember the synonyms or the nomenclature over here. TTLH, that is delay in going from logical 0 to logical 1 state, that is from low to high. The time, TP means the propagation delay, time required for that, and LH means from low to high, right? So that is the time delay or delay lag, which is going from logic 0 to 1, which is switching from 0 to 1, right? So as we have considered in the last slide, if I put a gate, a NAND gate, to a 0 level, right? So means if I apply ground to both the inputs of a NAND gate, then the output is supposed to come as high. Now if I switch that 0 with the positive. So both the terminals are going to be connected to plus. So how much time it will take to switch it from low to high, right? So that particular time is called as TPLH. Then we are having TPHL, means again from, this is from high to low now. So logic 1 to logic 0, and that is measured at 50% points. This is how it means. So this can be shown with diagrammatically. So this is the input that is supposed to apply, and this is a particular voltage that is required so that it considers it as high or low. We are having some practicals on this or in the lab, which we call it as a switching characteristics of NAND and switching characteristics of a NOT, where we are able to understand what voltage it is going to take as low, what voltage it is going to take as high, right? So in that case, we are going to say switch from 0 to 5 volt, 0 to plus 5 volt in equal intervals of that. And there we are able to find that exact where the gate is going to switch at 0 or low level. So that particular slot is called as the propagation time delay, that the time required for a gate to switch from high to low or vice versa, right? So this is that graph, and this is with respect to time. So it is being shown over here, and this is that switching time which is required. This is the x-axis is taken on this the time, and y-axis is going to give you the input voltages, right? So high, and this is the output structure wave, and this is the input. Similarly, we are having the power requirements. This is one of the essential factors of an IC logical family. Power factor again, which means that how much current and how much voltage is it going to use. Every IC needs a certain amount of electrical power to operate. Now, every IC, not only IC, but every electronic device you might go through, say, the refrigerator, TV, microprocessor, or say computer or any of the electronic device, it is requires a certain amount of electrical power to operate, right? Now that is VCC, that is for TTL, and VDD for MOS technology. So we are going to use this transistor logic as well as the MOSFET technology, right? So power dissipation determined by ICC, that is the current and the voltage. So power is nothing but the product of current and voltage. I have already told you that what is power? Power is nothing but the product of current and voltage, right? So here also the power dissipation is determined by ICC and VC, and average is taken as ICC average is equal to ICC plus ICL by 2. This is the general universal method to take the average of it. So what you have to do is you have to add all the parameters and divide the parameters with the same number, that how many of you have added. So accordingly we get an average. So similar is the case. So we are having two ICC and ICCL. So we are taking the addition of both and we are dividing it by 2. And then we are able to get the average ICC. Right? Accordingly, we are going to say we are going to calculate the power which is dissipated in an IC. So power in average power which is being dissipated in an IC is equal to ICC average plus into VCC. I told you that power is the product. Power is nothing but the product of the current as well as voltage. Current into voltage is called as the power. So here we have first calculated ICC average, and accordingly we are going to have a product value of it, ICC average into VCC. So current into voltage will give you the power. So if you have taken ICC average, so we'll have a power dissipated which is an average. So that is the requirement of the power which is being required by an IC to conduct faithfully. That is the power requirement. Then yeah, so these are some of the power supplies that we are going to connect. So remember this thing: gates, the inputs are different, the output is a different, and the power or the voltage source which is being supplied, that is being different. So here we are able to see this is, say, we can assume it as an IC, and wherein we are having 3 gates inside it. Okay, so here we require 2 other terminals which are supposed to give one for the positive high supply voltage and the other one should be ground. So we require this terminal. So these are different from, say, the input and the output. So we are having 3 terminals. These 3, as I told you, in an amplifier, we require 3 things in a device. That is, one is the input, the other one is the output, and the third one is the supply. So we are going to give you the supply by from here, right? So accordingly, we are going to calculate the power. Okay. So this was for the power dissipation. Then we have speed power factor. Yes. So desirable properties are we should have short propagation delay. That means that we should have a high speed working gate, right? As you work on only gates, then it's not an issue because we are working on a simple gate. So even if it comes after 1 second or millisecond, it won't mind us, right? But as we use them in a microprocessor or say in any of the digital circuits, then this factor is very, very important because we are need to working on a large scale and we expect that the output should come in a fraction of a second, right? So short propagation delays are expected. Then we are having a low power dissipation. So remember, these are some of the properties which are very essential for an digital IC. So we require short propagation delays. These are high speed, then low power dissipation. Speed power factor, both are there. So product measures the combined effect. Now, if you have a short propagation delay, that implies that it will have a high power dissipation. If you are having a long propagation delay, then the power dissipation will be small. So both this speed and power product measures the combined effect. Remember this, right? So this is the speed power product. Okay, and which is again a very essential factor as far as digital IC families are concerned. Then the noise immunity. Now remember whether the input which is being applied to a gate, whether it is going to take as a noise, right? So if I want that zero is to be connected or low is to be given to a gate, and if it is gaining some of the power, and if that zero point 0.4 is going to be considered as high, then that is called as the noise. So if we have not applied zero point 0.5 or zero point 0.4, but still it is going to take that as one. So in that case, what we'll say that it has taken the noise. So we require the digital ICs to be noise immune. Means it should not take the noise, right? It should take only the reliable input that is being applied to it. Okay, and giving a reliable output. So what happens if a noise causes the input voltage to drop below VIS minimum or rise above VIL max? So sometimes it both the happen that it will decrease to VI min or say it will increase to that. The noise immunity of a logic circuit refers to the circuit's ability to tolerate noise without causing spurious changes in the output voltage. I said that uh, if I have given a low input voltage, low input to the gate, then by taking the noise, the gate might consider it as a high, right? So that is how we should have the gates which are immune to this type of noise. Now, noise margin is shown in that figure. So this is those examples of that. Uh, yeah, you see over here. So we are having this voltage and current parameters which we have studied now. And this is the logic 1 and this is the logic 1, which is logic 0. This is logic 1 and this is logic 0. And this is the intermediate range where we say that it is a garbage value. So, and this is on this axis, we are taking it as a voltage. Now, when I say a logic 1, which implies that we are having a VOH minimum, this is the minimum and the maximum might be anyone. So less than 5 volts. And we are taking it as VOL max, which implies that this is the low level voltage, input voltage, which is supposed to be taking, the IC is taking it as the low voltage. So it starts from 0 to this level, right? And if you are able to say this, if this VOL max and if some noise it takes like this and it reaches to this point, then the intermediate range will decrease, and it may happen that the gate might consider it as high. So we should have a digital IC which is very low, which will have a high immune to noise. Okay, I guess you have understood this. This is the noise margin. Then invalid voltage levels. That is what we were talking about. That is the noise. that is invalid. For proper operation, the input voltage levels to a logic must be kept outside the intermediate range that I have shown you in the last slide, and lower than VIL max and higher than VIH min. So whenever we give more than up to 5 volt or more than 4 volt, so that it will be above that. And similarly, at the lower side, we might have a zero voltage or say ground or say a slightly higher than that is around say 1.1 or 1. So these are some of the characteristics, and these are current sourcing and sink. And this is what we are talking about. So we are having some resistances and a circuitry over there. So as we can see over here, the current sourcing and sinking means current sourcing means we are going to apply over from here. So it is going to have the this output of the gate as a source of current. So we call it as current sourcing. Now this current is going to be drained, given to the another gate, and that is going to be through the gate, right? So this is the driving gate, and this is the load gate. So how much current it requires so that this gate is going to work properly. And yeah, by default it is having some impedance also. So this is that impedance, and this is the input impedance of that. So this is output impedance, and this is the input impedance of that gate, load gate, right? Similarly, the current sinking, which implies that again the driving gate is on this side, and the say the load gate is on this side. So now we are talking in terms of when the output is supposed to be low, uh, and the input is supposed to be high. So in that case, what is the structure of that? So driving gate receives sinks current from load and in the low state. So this is the two stages that we call it as current sourcing and sinking. Then yeah, some of the IC package. This is what we need to cover today, and by that we'll be concluding today. So there are some IC packages. Now we are talking about ICs, integrated circuits. IC means integrated circuits, where we are integrating multiple number of transistors, diodes, and circuits inside a single chip. That is called as IC. So integrated circuit. Now what is these? These are called as some of the packages where they are available in the market. We are not talking about some specific ICs. We are talking in general. So what type of IC packages are available in the market? So the first package that is available is called as the SIP. That is single inline. So this is how it looks like. I don't know what is IC and what is that IC. So here, if you are able to see, the pins which are supposed to be connected to the circuit are only on the one side, right? And this is the heat sink which is given over there. So this type of pins which are connected over here are called as SIP, that is single inline package. Single inline package, where implies that the pins which are given are only on the one side of it. So only on single side of it. So those are called as single inline package. The second one is dual inline package, means on both the sides we'll be having the pins like this. So we are having the pins on both the sides. So we call it as dual inline package, IC package, right? So the gates are being integrated inside it by using the transistors. Those circuits we are going to study in the class, in the next class, coming class, right? JLED, again, the JLED is like this. So JLED is actually J type of pins which are coming out of it, like this or like this, SOJ and SOP. Okay, and they are there to solder this. So this, for soldering, we are having this type of a structure, and we need that the IC should be placed on the top of the, say, that PCB, printed circuit board. Okay, so these are some of the IC packages, and the last one we are having over here, yes, these are called as Gullwing packages. Again, we need to solder it like this. So this is that PCB, that is, we call it as a printed circuit board, and where we are supposed to solder this IC. Okay, I guess it is visible to you. So these are the packages of some ICs, and these are there are some more list of packages which we are not concerned with right now. So these are some of the basic packages that we come across and see the ICs. Okay, so these are some packages, and today I guess we will conclude here. And yeah, we can start the TTL logic family. So we are having this TTL logic family as transistor logic. We are going to study these gates, how these gates are going to give you the output like we have studied in the truth table. Okay, so we are having transistor logic and all. So we'll be working on the NAND gate, circuit operation, circuit, then high and low. So we'll be working on the circuits. Now, so inside the gate, we are expecting to have a circuit. I guess I have completed this portion over here. So if you have any questions, you can ask, unmute yourself and ask. I will be happy to answer. Okay, do you have any questions or have you understood this? Hello, anybody can reply? Okay, so thank you very much for joining the class. And please go through my YouTube channel. I will be uploading more videos on electronics on my YouTube channel. So please share, subscribe, and like my videos. I will talk on that. Right? Good day. Have a nice time. See you in the next class. Bye. Okay. So stay home, stay safe, take care. See you in the next class. Goodbye. Have a nice time. Bye.